Hey everybody, Jill from Two Dogs Media. Today I'm going to introduce you to something called Frase. It is a newer tool. I found it on AppSumo and I wanted to check it out because writing content is a pain in the ass. So on average, it'll take me, I'm not a slow writer by any stretch, but to write a good solid article that I know is going to rank will take me between 4 and 5 hours for about a 1,500 to 2,000 word article. So when I saw this, I'm like, I have to give it a shot. Anything that's going to help me speed up my writing is something I have to try because obviously, writing more content is going to help you, and the faster you can get through the process, the faster you can make money. So what we're going to do is, this is not a full-blown tutorial. I am going to show you how I worked through an article yesterday. Yesterday was the first time I actually wrote an article from scratch to really go through the entire process. I've been playing around with this for about a week. There's still a lot to learn. I'm still kind of working my way through it, but I think I know enough to help you guys decide if this is a tool worth pursuing for you. So Frase has two different options within their software. They have a content writing assistant, which is what I'm going to cover today, and they also have an answer chatbot, which I'm not going to go into at all because it's just not something I'm interested in. I just talk about content and SEO. So we're going to cover this today. Their pricing packages are not bad. So when you're thinking about pricing on the software that you guys buy, make sure you're taking into account, is it something that's going to save you time? So I have the basic package, and it's one user, 30 documents a month, so I can create or optimize 30 articles a month, which is enough for me. It's $40 a month, but if I can cut my time in half, that $40 really adds up. So think about how much time you can cut when you learn how to really use it. And I cut probably my time in half yesterday. The article took me, I think it was 1,700 keywords. It took me about an hour and a half to write, where it normally would take me 3 to 4 hours. So for me, that $40 a month just paid for itself in one post. So that's the way I look at it when I buy my tools. So let's get into it. When you log into Frase, this is what you see. Okay, so there's really nothing going on here. It's just the feed of work that you've done. You've got your content writing area, which is this is where we're going to play around in today. Your answers, this is for the chat bot. Like I said, I'm not covering this. And then you have your settings area. Down here is just a little news about what's going on with Frase. It tells you all the new features that they're doing. There is a little tutorial section, and then they have a help option. So with the content editor, okay, so there's some other things here. I have not played around with these too much, but I do want to just show them to you. So this is name. So today I'm going to work with this. I'm going to do an article about Namecheap versus GoDaddy. And if you're going to ask me my opinion, please use Namecheap and not GoDaddy. But anyway, this is what you get when you input this. This is a beautiful list of questions and content that people are searching for regarding this topic. Okay, is Namecheap better than GoDaddy? Is Namecheap reputable? What is better than GoDaddy? Everything. Why is GoDaddy more expensive? Is Namecheap a Russian company? So these are all things you can talk about in your post to help you rank better because people are talking about it. It pulls from people also ask related questions. So these are all Google query items. Autocomplete, and then you have Quora, and they also do pull from Reddit if they find content on Reddit. So what's really cool about the Quora and the Reddit, now you know there are people asking these questions, so when you're done writing your content, you can jump over to those and leave the post and say, here, I found this, I have this great article that talks about this. So not only is it good for the content writing, but a little bit of a link outreach here as well. Monthly search volume, you can see it's locked right now. This is a pay to play feature. So it is an add-on. I don't remember how much it is. I want to say 30 or something dollars a month. I am not investing in this yet. I want to make sure Frase is a keeper for me. Right now it's looking good, but I just don't want to make that investment yet. I'm less concerned about search volume because that's such a iffy number anyway. I don't write for search volume. I write for ranking of keywords because there is no absolute for search volume. It's not always correct. So I have, as an example, like I have a lot of posts that rank for terms that have 0 keyword search, but when I look in Search Console, I can see I'm getting a lot of traffic. That's my point. So not sure if this is something I'll ever use, but I might. And then this actually allows you to go ahead and write your content brief from this. So if I clicked on this, it would take me over to the content brief area, and then you can download the information as well. Okay, and you can also click from up here if the list is too long for you, so you can just see it in a different way. Google traffic, I haven't played with this too much yet. I did want to see what it does. So I imported my content from Search Console. That's what this is. You can hook in a Search Console account. This is for one of my sites, and it just really does a great job. One thing I'm really interested in seeing is how it breaks it down into clusters. So you can see here I have an article on hearing. I have a cluster of um, keywords related to animals and hearing. So I can see all of these things going on, and it's telling me, if I should optimize something, if I should create something. So it's giving me all these different items to improve on. So I haven't played with this yet. I will at some point, but I just wanted to show it to you. And then concept map. So this is a little different, and it pulls from Wikipedia. So say if I wanted to do an article about SEO, I'm going to click this, SEO, search engine optimization. Okay, so it's giving me all the things related to Wikipedia about search engine optimization. Okay, so from here what I can do is I can write a main search engine optimization article, and then I can have all these little clusters below it of information to kind of build off of. So this is just, like I said, I haven't played in here too much. I just think this is really cool for brainstorming, really good information. You can see the full wiki right from inside the tool here. You can do a create a brief. So just really cool and intuitive here. So let's go back to documents because this is where the fun is. Okay, so these are some of the articles that I've been playing around with. So this was the one I did yesterday. You can see it's 1,400. I think I said 1,700. So it was 1,400 keywords or words, sorry. This is exactly what I did yesterday. So I wrote this right in here and then copy and pasted it into my WordPress editor. You can export the content from here in different ways. You could do a link with read-only access to someone. You can do full access so they can edit it. MS Word, you can download it. You can download it as a PDF, plain text, and you can publish it to WordPress. You can hook into your WordPress account and have it publish over. I did not do that yet. So however you prefer to do it. You can import. I mean, this is basically your editing tool. So everything you need is up here. So my keyword for this was do rabbits hibernate. Okay, I'm using the United States. You can change this if you want, okay, but I'm using United States. Okay. But if you check this out, guys, I just published this yesterday afternoon. Okay, do rabbits hibernate. And I'm already at 11. Okay, so it's working for me, and hopefully it'll work for you as well. Hopefully it'll stay there. I haven't even done any link building to it. I don't even think I have any internal links to it yet. So right off the bat, it's ranking pretty well. So from here, like this is, if you want to edit existing content, this is what would happen. You would pull in your existing content. You would see everything here. You would go over to the right, and you can see overview. This just gives you a really good overview of everything that's going on. So topic score, you can see mine is higher than average, which is what you want. Word count, a little bit higher than average, which is what you want. How many headers, how many links, how many images in the post. Long form intent, more than 1,500 words. Intent of the content is important. So the intent of this content, a little bit visual, because many people, so I might want to add another image. I only have 2. It looks like the average is 4. I might want to add another one. How to, it's educational content. I do have an article in here at the bottom of the post, how to care for wild rabbits in the winter. So you want to make sure you're matching the intent that it's telling you. Okay, topics, these are the topics sorted by popularity of what are being discussed in the top articles. So obviously winter months, cold weather, wild rabbits, eastern cottontail. So I had to make sure all of these items were included in my article, and I did. So questions, these are some of the questions that were being asked from the top URLs, and you can see the URL right here. And if you click on this, okay, it'll give you the information regarding that topic. Okay, this is where the gold is. So if I wanted to, I can insert this little bit of information into my post, but you do not want to insert it and leave it. Guys, this is meant to be rewritten in your own words. Okay, do not just copy and paste. That's, I think, what's going to be a problem with this. People don't realize you can't just take content from other people, rewrite it, and make it your own. Okay, that's what's important here. So these are the top questions that are being asked. Then you have sections different sections within those posts. I know this is all a little confusing, okay, but this is just the overview, okay. Summaries, okay, so you can see what main topics. This was a featured snippet for this keyword, okay. Griffin Pest had a featured snippet. Okay, it's just giving you summaries of how the pages are laid out. So I can see the topics that they talked about. Okay, I can see their outline. This was their H1 tag. Okay, H3, which this is kind of wrong because you're really supposed to put H2s then H3s. Okay, um, you can do Bunny Lady. Okay, so they have all these topics and then they have H1. They have a strong tag, H2, 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 and you can view more sections. So if they have more, you click more. You can scroll down. So you can see the outline of their page. Guys, this is everything I've been doing manually by going into the search engines and looking at the top 10 pages. Okay. You can, if you want to, say if Griffin Pest, because they're a pest control company, I'm a blog, so I don't necessarily want to compete against them, but I did because they have the featured snippet, but typically I wouldn't want to. You can actually blacklist this one, okay, and it'll reprocess the search results and take that item out. So now when I look at summaries, it goes right to Bunny Lady. So like if you're doing this article and Amazon is in the search results, obviously you're not going to compete against Amazon. You can just blacklist it so it doesn't show it. Okay, you can open the link. It'll open it in a new tab so you can take a look at the article. Okay, so some really great tools in here. Okay, topics are the topics that you want to add to the article. Okay, this is telling me I mentioned winter 3 times. My competitors use it 2 times. As long as it's in the green, I think that's fine. You can see this one, I don't have enough. I have 1 of 3. So it's recommending I add it 2 more times. Okay, female rabbit, I don't have it mentioned at all. There was a couple articles talking about female breeding. I am not talking about breeding in this article, so it's not relevant. The goal of this is to not make every single one green. It has to make sense, okay? So if there's a word in here like rabbit poop, I'm not talking about rabbit poop. It's just not in something that to me relates. You can see how other people are using it though. Okay, so rabbit poop is they're using it as a food source. Okay, these guys are using it as, just explaining why there's extra poop in the spring. So, do you want to add it? Maybe. I'm not going to bother. I don't think it's that important. I'm trying to see if there's any red. I don't have any reds. If there's a red one, if one of these was red, it would tell me I'm over optimized. So let me see. I'll show you how that works. Winter months. Oops, spelled it wrong. So if I do winter months, okay, now you can see it already caught it. It's doing it as you're writing, it's making these changes for you. So now you can see it's telling me I am over optimized. Okay, so I'm going to take that back out. Okay, now it'll go back to 3. Oops, sorry. Okay, so now it's back to 3. Sometimes it just takes a second. So my goal here, obviously I want to be better than what everybody else is doing. This yellow marker is telling me the average optimization score amongst all the top competitors. I'm at 71, the rest of them are at 49. Okay, I can view all the scores here. So Rabbit Carrot Tips is 100% optimized. Okay, this is me at 71. Hunter City is at 92. So, maybe I want to improve to try and beat these guys, but I'm not going to stress too much until I see where I wind up. You can download all these. You can do advanced filters. So if there's topics in here, sources, if you want to sort by average mentions, topic gap, in progress, things that are overused. So there's a lot of different ways to kind of filter the information here. Then you have your questions section, which is showing you all the questions in the SERPs. Okay. Links, it's telling me resources that people are linking out to. Again, another gold mine thing. It's taking away the need for me to go find resources to link to in my articles. Every article I try to link out, to 1 or 2 authority pages that can back up my content. Here they are. I don't have to go searching for them, and I can see who's linking to them and how it's being linked. Okay, I can click on it and it'll show me, what the link is, rabbit.org. I can click on this. It'll take me to the page that's being linked to. Okay, so somebody is using House Rabbit Society as a reference source. Okay, and this is the page that they're linking to. So I can easily use that. Okay, time saver galore. Okay, and then internal. So these are internal links. Okay. These may be anchor links. So these are links within the page that they're linking to themselves. Okay. So pests, wildlife, Michigan Wildlife Solutions, you can see they link to themselves as a wildlife solution. So all these different, these are internal. It's just a good way for you to see how many internal links they're doing, what their anchor texts are, that kind of thing. Stats are where you're going to find statistics, important statistics related to your article, if there are any. You may not have any, depends what you're writing about. For me, there was a lot of stats about body temperature and how rabbits store fat. So I made sure to include some of these because a lot of my competitors did. Okay. And then last is news. You can see the latest news about your topic. Wildlife needs our help through winter. This was just published November 8th. It's in the UK, but this could be some really good information in here for me about, how the wildlife can be helped in the winter. I might be able to add something. Or you can add, check out this new article about this topic. It just really helps keep you in the know about what's going on with your topic. Again, another gold mine. It's stuff I don't have to think about, and it's right there for me. So this is an existing article that I already did. Wanted to show you that, but let's do a new one real quick. Okay, I'm going to do new document. I'm going to save it to my Two Dogs Media folder because you can create folders. Create content brief. So this is every time you start a new document, this is the options you're going to get. Create content brief, optimize existing content, or create with a template. This is kind of new. I haven't used this yet, and I haven't really optimized content yet since I'm still new with this. So let's create our content brief. I'm going to enter Namecheap versus GoDaddy. Okay, create advanced settings. You can take a look at this. So you can do search type. There's two different things. It'll either crawl the top 20 Google results, or you can put in results from a specific domain. So if you have a site that is ranking really well for this that you particularly want to optimize against, you can enter that exact URL. Okay, and then you can choose your country. I think I'm default to US, so I'm just going to leave that for now. We're going to do top Google results for now. Okay, create document. Now this ran through really quick because I had already tested this out earlier, so it would load faster. It does usually take a few seconds to load. It'll kind of show you how it's running through the search engines. It won't load this fast. So this right off the bat, it brings you to a screen that says customize content brief. If you are using writers, this is what you'd want to do. You'd want to allow them the opportunity to see a brief that you created, and then they can write the content based on that brief. Okay. If you click insert brief into editor, it's going to put all this information in here. I'm not going to do this right now. I really want to focus on showing you how to use it from scratch, but you can shut certain things off if you don't want them shown in there. Okay. Average word count. It'll tell them how many words the top 20 competitors are using. It'll show you some of the links that they're using. It'll show them title, description. It's going to give them all this information in here. It's going to be a pretty long content brief. Okay, so this is one option. I am not using this, so I'm going to close this. This is what I'm going to use. So now you can see I have this blank article. Nothing's going on here. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, okay, as an overview, you can see I have nothing going on here. Okay, but this is the metrics I'm shooting for. The average of a topic score, I want it to be higher than that. I want my word count to be a little more than this. Okay, now I know how many headers are being used, how many links are being used, and how many images. The intent of the article, which is critical, is a review, which we can see that because of the VS versus. So I am going to treat it like a review. Why is Namecheap great? Why does GoDaddy suck? We're going to do that. And then it's telling me it's a long form content. So I want to use a lot of content and just what the entity is. There's a knowledge graph type of content. So these are all things you want to consider when you're writing your content. It's giving me a list of topics that's recommending I use. It's giving me questions that people are asking, okay, where they're asking it. It's giving me sections that I can use, okay, from the news. Okay, so there's a lot of great stuff here. I don't live on this section too long, but the one thing I do first, process sources is 18. That means it pulled 18 pages for me. I want to see what pages they pulled, so I'm going to click edit. Okay. You can choose which ones you want to include. So let's run through here. We got winning WordPress. I do want to include them. Make a website because these are all competitors for me. Host advice, website planet, Namecheap. I'm not going to include Namecheap. Okay. I'm going to exclude them. I'm going to exclude Quora because I don't want to compare this post against a forum. I want to compare it against other bloggers. Okay. This is a hosting company. This is Namecheap. This is, I don't know what that is. I'll leave that in for now. Okay. And I'm only going to focus on the top 10. So I'm actually going to do this way. So I have now 10 sources selected that it's going to compare against, and then click Save. Okay. So now you can see these numbers changed a little bit. The word count's a little less information. Okay. But now I'm only competing against the 10 people that are most relevant to me. I'm going to go over to summaries. Okay. I'm going to see, I can take a look at what each of these pages has going on in terms of H1. Now what's cool here, say winning WordPress is the main page. You can see he's got 1900 keywords or 1900 words in the article. Make a website hub has 22 or 2200 words in the article. There's a couple different ways to approach this. Okay. View all sections. You can add all of this to the document. If I click add to document, watch what happens. Okay. So it's giving me the summary right here if I want to use it that way. And then I can build off of this summary. Okay, so that's one thing you can do. Okay. Topics. Okay, so these are all the topics I want to make sure are included in my article. Okay, domain registrar, I don't have anything yet for that term. Okay, but 6 of my competitors mention it, or sorry, all of my competitors mention it an average of 6 times. Okay, it's mentioned an average of 4 times. So this is per article. So they're using it 6 times per article. Okay, if you wanted to, you can filter again, do the different filters. Questions, it's talking about all the questions. Okay, then you got your links, stats, and is there any news? Okay, global domain registration provides market top manufacturers. Okay, so that's about Google. Google use attacks, so that might be interesting. GoDaddy employees used in attacks on multiple crypto sites. You know, you might want to mention some of these things if there's anything in here. You know, obviously I'm not going to mention this one because this is a competing article. It's also from 2019. But again, you know, definitely want to look at the news and see what's going on. So what am I going to do to write my content? Okay, this is what I'm going to start working on. I'm going to look at winning WordPress. Okay, my title, Namecheap versus GoDaddy. Okay, I might want to write which registrar is best for you. Okay, and say I want to do which is more popular. Okay, let's add this to the document because what this section is doing on their website for winning WordPress, it's telling me how many people are using Namecheap versus GoDaddy. I think that might be really interesting. I'm going to add that. Oops, sorry, wrong button. Okay, let's do that again. Which topic is more popular? You have to click that. And then you can click each section, okay, to add it in. Okay. Now, again, I'm going to repeat this. Do not just click it in and save it as your own content. You cannot do that. So what I typically do, I would actually go through and rewrite this. Okay. So I might, and obviously, you know, they're giving you where you got it from. So let's go back. As I said, this is still kind of new to me. I'm still kind of working my way through. Okay, but so now I have, this is, let's do which registrar is most popular. Okay, we'll do this as a header 2, so I know it's a paragraph. Okay, now I might want to do maybe host advice. They have an interesting one where they said, you know, best for blogs and social websites, best for businesses. So that might be really interesting for me. Okay. Namecheap. So you're going to go through and look for the things that are interesting to you. Okay, I'm going to add this. GoDaddy charges more for hosting than Namecheap. Okay, I'm going to make this a header 2. GoDaddy, and I'm going to just change it to more expensive than Namecheap for hosting. Okay. And then this will be a paragraph. So as you can see, I'm going through, I'm taking the content. I don't want it to be a header 2. Sorry. All right, we'll just leave this for now. All right, so I'm going to delete that. Namecheap in the industry. So I'm taking what they wrote, I'm just changing it. Stand down there. They keep their pricing the same when you do renewals. Unlike GoDaddy that gives you an intro discount and then raises the pricing. Okay, so that's basically taking that and rewriting it, and then I just delete this. So you can do it either way. You can look in here and just rewrite it, or you can add the content in. Do not steal other people's content, okay? Then I could just add in more content wherever I want. This is another H2. Then I can see how I'm doing. I can go over to overview. Okay, I can see I'm at 332 words. My topic score is here. So maybe I want to go over to topics, see how my topics are doing. Okay, so I actually mentioned this too many times. I got domain names in here too many times. It does highlight these for you. I think they're changing this though, so this might change a little bit. They might make it so it only highlights the term that you're working on. So like right now, I'd only want domain names highlighted in here so I can easily see it. But you can see I'm using domain names too many times. I don't have domain registrar yet. My goal is to get over this yellow line. Okay. So now say I got all my basic content done. Now I want to do some stats. I can look here. I can do this. Click on this, take a look at the article, see how they're doing. Okay. So it's giving me some interesting stats here. I can copy this in. Okay, and maybe I want to do this stat. Okay, and then I want to do some links. Where are they linking out to? Let's see, Wikipedia, GoDaddy. I might want to include this in my article as a source somewhere. Okay, and maybe I can do 1, and then this will be 1, and I could just link to that. Okay, save. Okay, and then so we did stats, we did news. We don't really have much news going on. And that's really kind of how it rolls. So you're going to run through, you're going to go through the different sections, decide, what makes the most sense for you in the topic that you want to write. This is the #1 result right now, winning WordPress. I might want to emulate him pretty quick. Okay. Add a couple extra things from #2. Okay, so this is how I create my articles. When I'm done, like I said, right now I am doing I'm just copying, pasting into WordPress and then cleaning it up in there. You can add images in here. It'll count for the images as well. So that, guys, is how you kind of use Frase. I will do another more in-depth tutorial and just a singular tutorial when I dig a little deeper into this so that you guys have a even more step-by-step exact way of creating this Frase document. Any questions, please leave them in the comments, and thanks for spending some time with me. Have a great day, guys.